Hey, welcome to Hanging with the Hunns. I'm Todd, the host, and this is my lovely wife, Carrie, co-host.
Hello.
Tonight we have the Mandarin Mafia.
Yes.
Very special guest of ours.
The legendary.
Yes, we've been waiting for this one for a while. We got lots of good stories that will happen tonight, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Carrie's got most of the questions, so I'm gonna hand it over to you.
Okay. Well, I just want to get started with, of course, I've heard a lot about this Mandarin Mafia growing up. Who's this Mandarin Mafia? My mom used to tell a little bit of stories, and then there was, I think we came across a little card, like a little
show card, business card,
yes. Yeah. And it had Mandarin Mafia, and I was like, what is this? And so she explained that, you guys and Uncle Johnny and Rusty, and I can't remember, I think there was maybe, who else?
There was
Tommy was it too? See, I never knew Tommy.
Yeah, Mike Fletcher,
Shepherd Boys, Billy and Josh.
Okay, so there's a lot of you guys.
Quite a group of fellas.
Kept growing.
Jack Pappy, he was
Jack Pappy's Prices.
All right, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So when did this Mandarin Mafia start? Like how was it created? When?
It was kind of a joking thing that we done because it was in our circle hanging out, and everybody kind of dabbed in little things back then, making easy money maybe. Johnny is the one who come out with the cards and made the cards and started, handing them out to everybody, Mandarin
He's
Mafia
like, it's
cards.
official,
So,
right?
yeah, that made it official. But
Tell
Johnny
everyone
Tumbelty.
who Johnny is.
AKA Shine.
Yes, which comes from what part of the Rusty Shine, which is Jeremy's dad. And then Rusty was part of it as well. So that's also part of Rusty Shine. So Johnny's my uncle. Uncle Johnny, which is Jeremy's dad. And Rusty, his cousin. Yes. So they were also part of it. So, of course, that's why Rusty Shine is so awesome, because their dads are also legendary Mandarin Mafia. Okay, so you guys were all in high school together when this started?
Yep. Went to Wilson. I guess it was 10th grade when Johnny I remember him coming out of a printing shop, and he had a stack of them. And he said, man, here, and I said, cool. So I got mine laminated. I still have mine. Steve still got his.
I still have mine.
I don't know. Do you have one still?
Yeah.
So there's a few around.
So what does Mandarin Mafia mean to you, or what did it mean to you then in high school?
A great group of friends.
Okay, so were y'all popular? Would you say y'all are the popular bunch?
I don't know about popular. We were, I guess we kind of were, but we kind of weren't. We were just a good group of friends, and it's really great. And it kind of started, we kind of got closer at what's now called, the Yankees call Micklers. It's really called Micklers, but we named it the Crossroads, because every good surf spot back in the day, and we're talking, believe it or not, it's all the way in the 60s, the late 60s. Mm-hmm. And I started surfing at 15, as well as Sharky and Greg. Everybody that had that card was a surfer.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Johnny, they had the surfboards, mostly at their house. That's where I got started, is because Faye was running, dating Johnny, and then later Rusty, and Ruben was hanging with them and got me hanging with them. And so, I kind of eased in there and got in the group. And we was the biggest bunch down at the Crossroads, was our circle. And being with us from Mandarin, we were considered hicks at one time. And then Mandarin all of a sudden got cool because that's where everybody wanted to live. We were, a pretty well-known bunch, and we had our circle we ran with, it was just a tight group.
That's awesome. Yeah. So the Micklers or Micklers, that's Jack's Beach, right?
Yeah.
Part of Jack's Beach?
No, not
Ponte
really.
Vedra.
Palm Valley.
That's
Palm
right.
Valley.
Palm Valley. That's right. It's like past Ponte Vedra. Yeah, I've been there.
South of Ponte Vedra.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go straight down Racetrack Road and you get me.
That's pretty cool. Surfer hicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because being from California,
right.
It's like
totally different.
Like we're all surfers in California, and a hick is a hick, like country boy. but you don't expect them to be surfers. So
I mean,
that's pretty
we
dang cool.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
we all hunted. We all hunted.
Right? Yeah.
We were what's called rednecks. We weren't rednecks. We were country people.
Yeah,
You know,
country boys.
we didn't go out and kill something that we didn't eat,
Yeah,
no matter what. You
Right.
know, except the possum.
yeah.
We was raised country, but you know, we were still close enough to the city that we kind of
And the
intermingled
beach,
with the people.
yeah.
And I mean, you know, I myself, I mean, I like being, you know, I like the country, always have, always will. But you know, there's a lot of ups and downs, but there's some good things about, you know, the city people. I guess, you know, going to them, we had good friends. Yeah, we met a lot, lot good looking gals and stuff. You know, because.
Y'all are good looking guys.
Yeah, but
Right?
you know, we had fun. We were just teenagers. The beach, it was like the crossroads was ours. I mean, we could go down there and stay for days at a time. Nobody come down there and hassle you, you know. And we'd meet people that be down there, you know, throwing nets and stuff, you know, catching mullet and stuff, you know, and they were crabbers, but we got along, you know, we all got along with each other. It weren't like it was a...
Would you say y'all were respected? Like, being the Mandarin Mafia, people knew the Mandarin Mafia. I mean, what are you rolling your eyes over there for, Greg? What you got to say about that?
Yeah, we weren't
I
strong
have a
on
little
people.
different take.
Okay, let's hear your take.
My take is, okay, I'm just letting everybody talk.
Mhm.
But my take is, here's what happened. What had happened. Landon and DuPont went together and made Wilson High School. Okay. So, Wilson High, Mandarin, if you lived in Mandarin back in that day, you were poor and a hick. So the people up in San Jose and Lakewood had the money. So, you know, they looked down kind of on Mandarin people, you know. And so and then once, next thing we know, Mandarin's property is really high. So everybody wanted to buy our parents' property. So
Oh, wait, right there. That your parents, your friends,
everybody,
those are the ones that they have all the street names named after,
well,
mostly.
well,
I mean, I
some
know that
Tarkovsky
we're
and
related
Bayard.
to a lot
Yeah,
of them.
yes.
The
Yeah,
Hartleys.
and
Yeah,
Peppies.
yeah.
The
So it
little
was
shit.
all big family. It was like Prices, the Hartleys,
Prices.
the Hazes.
Targonski.
So they
Targonskis.
started Mandarin. Like,
Right.
you were the make
There-
of
yeah,
Mandarin.
there's
So
even
we
a
were like-
Targonski Street.
We
I
were
know.
like,
I can't believe it.
we were like the working class people that worked for. I mean, we weren't rich. Like the money was up in Lakewood area and San Jose
Right.
area.
See, I didn't even realize that Mandarin, like the part that y'all live in and where we always go, like, or how it is now, was not like that. I didn't realize it was more
Right.
of like the country and
Really and truly, when I
rednecks.
first went to
Everybody had
When I-
horses
It's
and
changed
farms,
a lot.
when
Yeah.
I first went to DuPont and Wilson, they looked down on people from Mandarin
Huh.
because we were like, not looked down in You're
I know what you're
country.
talking about, which is
Yeah.
Well, it was
interesting
the
to
blue-collar
know. Like,
class.
I,
Our parents did work.
So
We
then
was
we all
Yeah.
kind of got together. Next thing I know, Lakewood and Mandarin kind of started getting together and combining.
Okay.
Like the McGoverns came in
Yeah.
and everybody came in. So they decided, instead of fighting each other, everybody, like, there's a lot of good people from Lakewood area up there that I went to school with, but they all had money back then. It took a long time because until I got out of high school, I wasn't cool. So Mandarin Mafia started because we started South Jack Surfing Association
okay.
in Wolfson, and you remember that, Steve?
So is this
Yeah.
like a club in the high school of surfers?
Yeah, surfers.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow,
Johnny
that's
was a badass surfer.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard.
You know,
I've heard.
We had a club with Steven. I was just a regular surfer. I mean, I was an average surfer, but Johnny and Tommy were freaking athletes. They were really good, especially Johnny. Johnny
Yeah.
could compete with anyone. So then we got to be more and more popular. You know, as years went on, people wouldn't hang out with us. So next thing, then they started the Mandarin Mafia thing, and
Okay.
it just started growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shepherds, the freaking.
Everybody wanted to be part of it.
Everyone
Right?
wanted to be a part.
All the
And
guys
that's when we were all a big family, and we hung out. It wasn't like we were
took care of each other.
like we controlled any kind
Right.
of drug thing or like the mafia.
Yeah, I know. That's
You
why I
know,
wanted to be like, so
And-
what
and
is
it was
this
just
thing?
a kid thing. And Johnny was so ahead of his time that he came up with this, especially with, you know, John.
He was quite the artist. I know
Quite the
that,
artist.
Yeah.
So he come with this Mandarin
So talented.
Mafia sticker.
Huh.
Because Johnny was like 3 years younger than I was. And I did silk screening, but in graphic arts and Wilson, Sharky's right, he designed that Mandarin Mafia card. And and then it just, from there, and then it just went from there. Everybody
Okay.
went and hang out with, we go to the Crossroads, we go Turtle Lake and to St. Augustine, and it got to be, hell, Racetrack Road, we would just go up and down Racetrack Road on the weekend and run up and down and listen to this.
Were y'all doing races?
No,
Is
we
that what
would
y'all
just
do?
we would just run up and down. Wasn't nothing else to do. We go to the Crossroad, listen to Led Zeppelin on Sam Van Dyne's radio, playing Whole Lot of Love, and that was our night because there wasn't no cops.
Yeah.
There was only Jim Roberts, and if you could outrun Jim Roberts and Batten, you were in there.
And
Yeah,
that was home at night.
That was
the only cop? Or?
That was before Jacksonville consolidated
Yeah.
with Bayard and Mandarin areas, and there was a constable,
Right.
and a
Constable.
deputy.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We had
Yeah.
Justice of the Peace out there then.
And we go to the Crossroads and party, and Tom Tumbelty was the baddest puller on the
That's
beach.
my papa.
That was
That's
Tom.
it.
And you didn't have to worry about if you got stuck, you call Tom.
That's right. No, I did witness those days and we went mud
Yes.
bogging and then the sand dunes and everybody's calling my papa.
And turtle
He's
egging.
pulling everybody out.
People didn't know about turtle egging. Turtle egging was legal.
I heard about
And
that
you
from my
would-
mom
you
too.
Could,
Yeah.
You could take a certain amount of eggs and you put them back.
Uh-huh.
We'd go from Crossroads to St. Augustine in the high part of the day going to the beach. And Tom would have them split rims in that station wagon, and he could pull. He was the best. He was king of the beach.
Skylark.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
Remember that?
what is turtle egging?
Turtle Lake, you find
You
the
watch
turtle
turtles
cross.
lay it. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, anyway, you go up there and you could go and take X amount of eggs, but you had to put them back because they use the turtle eggs to cook. They're real rich. They're good for cakes
Okay.
and stuff.
So the turtle eggs are
real
from
rich,
baby
Okay.
turtles.
and they're all yellow.
From
They don't have a
They,
white.
they were
Sea
raw.
turtles.
It looked like a chicken egg, but they're
Yeah.
they're soft like
It
a
was
ping
like a
pong,
ping
and
pong
they were good
with a
to
dent
make
in
cakes with. They make
Oh,
a
so
real rich
okay?
cake
So I'm
batter.
thinking turtle. You're like taking the turtle legs from the babies.
No, what they would do.
But they would get them right after they laid them. They wouldn't
Yeah.
have time.
Okay,
But
I
you
gotcha.
wouldn't. We wouldn't mess the nest up. I mean, because it was legal back then. There was so many of them, so you could do it and
Now they're
freaking.
protected.
But the thing was, when you went turtle egging, first time I went turtle egging with Tom Tumbelty, it's like the first nest you found. When you had to eat a turtle egg, because it's a
Raw
ping pong
one.
ball with a dent in it, but you had to eat it and swallow it
Like
and,
the
and
initiation?
bust it up. Yeah, that was the initiation.
That's like what they do when you go hunting. Aren't you supposed to drink
Kinda.
the blood of
Drink a cup
the
of
first
their
kill
blood.
or
They
something?
cut the bag out, the guts out over
Do you
here, and
do
put
that?
the bag over your
Have
head.
Have you had
That's
to
when
do
you
that?
kill your first
Yeah.
buck.
Yeah, that's what I
But,
heard. You had to do all that
and
crazy
people
stuff.
probably are appalled at
Initiation.
that, but back
Little
then
messy.
it was legal. It wasn't nothing. It
Mhm.
wasn't illegal. That's
Right.
because you never disturbed that. But nobody was doing it. There was only a few. There was a small amount of people that could drive on the beach from Crossroads to St.
Not everybody could do that.
Hell
Right? Yeah.
Very
Papa would
few.
find a way, right?
Yeah.
Very few did.
No,
Very
we'd grab the peanut butter and a loaf of bread and leave on a Friday after school and wound up down at the Crossroads and spend all weekend without a bit of trouble or worry. Get hungry, of course, but my gosh, we'd stay in the water all day, every day.
Yeah.
But you could go from the Crossroads all the way to Volano back then,
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could pick a place to stay. You could
Yeah.
pick many places to surf, which was just, it'll never be the same, like a lot of things. But
Yeah.
we had paradise 15 minutes from our home, from Bayard,
Yeah.
literally 15 minutes. And you could
Well,
be in
all the
paradise.
cool
for the week.
surfers went to Access 5.
Yeah.
So
You
what's
know.
that? Access
And that's-
5?
Access
why-
5 was Atlantic Beach.
Okay.
Okay, and Northern, everybody went there. That was when the kids skipped school. Everybody went
Yeah.
to Access 5. Okay, so when we figured out, well, hell, we can go straight down Racetrack Road and go to
Nobody knows that area, right? Yeah.
Crossroads, and freaking, like I said,
That's awesome.
Johnny Tumbelty and Tommy Tumbelty were like amazing. You can ask Steve and Sharky. They were like, I mean, Johnny compete with whoever.
Before I ever met Shine or Tommy, I was a grommet. You know, I started at 15 years old. I didn't know what I was doing, but I'd go down there anyway and start surfing whitewater and what have you. You know, learn to stand up. But I remember back in the day, it would be so big, and it broke good most all the time, which it doesn't anymore.
It changed every year.
But you could see two guys way outside, big waves. I mean, just tearing them up. And that's who it was, Shine and Tommy, you know. And, Greg knew them before I did, and Sharky and all, but which we never did introduce ourselves. I'm Steve, Sharky, Greg. But Sharky and I grew up in Bayard from like he's a few months younger than I am, but we've been friends forever.
Growed up from babies,
yeah, from babies right on.
Yeah.
Now when I met Johnny and them, the main ones I guess was you, Weaver, Sam, and Josh and Billy.
Yeah.
And all y'all was pretty much tight. Y'all was tight then, hanging together.
Well,
so y'all was like the original kind of.
Tommy was like Ronnie Van Zant and Skynyrd.
Yeah.
And we hung out with Skynyrd all the freaking time.
Yeah, I heard about those stories.
It was so cool back then.
Did they come out to the beach too and hang out?
Well, not really. We hung out.
Side.
They're more the rock. They're more the rockers at the parties, and that's where I went.
They lived in an old house off of Mandarin Road.
They rented the house from Jackie Price's Buck Price. You know Mark Price.
Yeah,
Mark Price.
From Bucks. Right there.
Yeah, that's the
they
old
got
house
it
Buck
had. Never hear anything about that on any biographies.
This
but
before
they
they
did
cut
live in
the
Mandarin
first
for a
album.
while.
Yeah, because they lived also on the west side where I'm from, on off of Lake Shore.
Well,
Everybody
they come
has
out there
a
and
Skynyrd
practice
story.
music. They didn't so much live out there, but they did come out and practice music because then it was out to itself, and they weren't, it didn't bother nobody, so they could go there and play, make music all they wanted.
When Alan lived
And we'd
down,
go by
he
there.
lived in
Greg got
Mandarin.
in tight with them. He knowed them all pretty good.
They didn't have no money. They couldn't even afford to eat.
That's how they all start, right?
Yeah.
They used Mr. Falana's gas station on the corner.
that way too.
Right. I mean, really and truly, we got to be friends with Skynyrd when they were like before they
Good
got
old boys.
Before they got famous.
Yeah.
They were just a band like Rusty Shine
They were
playing,
bad,
and you'd
Exactly.
see them in dives here.
We
and
didn't
there,
realize how
they weren't
badass they were
famous.
going to be.
I don't know. They might have rented that old house, I think, maybe for like $50 a month or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, cheap.
it had electric, maybe some running water.
They put egg cartons.
No,
That's it.
because Mr. Falana told me the story about him coming to his garage just to use the bathroom to shave and wash your armpits, whatever. Yeah. Back then.
Well, they put egg cartons on the walls
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
for sound.
Soundproof,
So
yeah.
we were gonna, and I didn't know. Hell, I was just happy to be there because
Mhm.
Tommy basically got me in there. So we were in there, and Billy Shepherd, and we went there, and I'm sitting next to Alan Collins, who's ripping it. I didn't know who, and Ronnie, who's a badass and freak, and I didn't even have an idea what they were going to ever be one day. We're bringing them food because they couldn't afford to freaking eat and stuff. I mean, they weren't really. I mean, this is before they cut the first album. This is when Larry Johnston played with them with that 38 Special, and this is before but don't get me wrong. And they were. I knew they were badass. Don't get me wrong. I knew they were really badass, and I was just so happy to be there.
I guess
But
music was life, basically, to
Music
them.
was.
Yeah, they were just.
Music was right there on
Took us
Mandarin
along.
Road, right by Mandarin Supermarket.
Yeah.
Sharky Mandarin.
And the good thing, the best part about us coming up, it was right at the tail end of everything being wide open. I mean, they didn't have everything posted. All the fields, there was bar pits and stuff we'd go party at, and and go hang out at, and go to the beach all weekend. We could go up the sand. We could drive. Back then, you could drive into sand dunes, man. We all had old cars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'd go down there and bag the tires, and man, they weren't a sand dune down there we couldn't go over.
Right.
Yeah.
And we was camping there. Well, I say camping. We rode down there and crashed out in the cars.
Yeah.
Wherever you
And
got
we
stuck.
wake up. We woke up in the morning and up on top of the sand dune, Tommy's up there, and he's got this big old, I believe it was red, big old long red station wagon. He's up on top of the sand dune with the teeter-totter like that. And they done bottomed out, but he got up
Oops.
there. And he had a good-looking girlfriend, Nancy.
Always
She was
Nancy.
always with him. And so Tommy, he gets up there, and that's where they spent the night, you know. So
Oh,
well,
my
in
God.
the morning, I'll run into a crowd. I know somebody get me off of it. Sure enough, you know, we all get up. Tommy's up there on the top of the sand dune, so we all get out there rocking the old car, you know, and get him over it, and comes around. We could do stuff like
Man,
that.
times
you
are
know, and
wild.
nobody, now you can't even walk
Tommy
in
was
the
like,
sand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy
You can
was
sleep
like
right down on the
Adonis.
beach.
Look at a turtle egg.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know,
Tommy
right?
was like, he could throw a football the farthest.
Knock
Best
a hard
had
ball,
the
throw
best
a
girl
hard ball.
looking
He
girlfriend.
was also
Very
the
athletic.
he can hit or play baseball with
Yes.
left and right. What would they call
Yeah.
that?
Yes,
Ambidextrous.
ambidextrous.
Both
Yeah.
I heard
hands,
about that.
I know
Yeah,
it.
throw and
Amphibious.
hit.
It's like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Amphibious.
really,
My brother used to call
and
it.
he didn't give a shit what Tumbelty said. He'd laugh at Tom. Tom would like, on his ass because Tom.
Look,
He
he was stout.
He's like, so he'd laugh at. I said, Tommy, I wouldn't do that if I was you. My parents would let me stay with the Tumbeltys. When we met the Tumbeltys, I lived on the other end of Junior Creek Road. So I'd walk halfway to Condor and meet Tommy or Johnny, and I'd spend the weekend at Tumbelty's. They knew we were safe because Aunt Dinky and Tom would say, listen, y'all have to stay here. You can't go. We might drink beer, we might do whatever we do, but we could not leave the house. So they knew we were safe. So they trusted us with it. And man, I mean, I couldn't think of a better childhood to have than hanging out with
I
them.
tell you what, same. My papa
I
lived
swear.
for his
Oh,
kids,
yeah,
his
I remember.
grandkids.
It was a safe house. I mean, you
It
could
was
go
a
there
safe
to the
house.
Tumbeltys, and now he'd get on her behind. If we went in and smoked inside, he'd come in there and get on Johnny and Tommy's
Oh, yeah,
house
yeah,
and run
yeah.
us all out. We'd have to go outside. But as far as being there,
Yeah,
he
he was
was never
strict,
told
now.
to leave.
You had to go by his rules.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but they was great. Everybody come
Yeah.
by. I dated Darla Mahan, and we come by there, and Mrs. Tumbelty, she drank wine by the gallon, and her and Darla sat there
Gee,
and,
what are,
She
and,
did.
and drank wine,
She
and they
did,
drank
she
that
did
whole
that
gallon. We
That's
started
not great.
back home. I was
I
taking
have-
her home, and I
I
said,
have
"You're gonna
sat-
get sick,"
I have
And she
sat
says, "No,
at
I ain't."
that
And
table
sure
with
enough, she
Dinky
got
and
sick.
drank wine and told stories. And I swear to God, I wouldn't give it up for nothing in the world to listen.
she was my best
Dinky.
friend too.
And then, you were close with.
I love my
I
granny.
don't know how many people was close with Dinky
Mm.
and Tommy, so I can tell a little bit of stories about Tommy, that people don't know because Tommy jumped in the Swanee and paralyzed himself at an early age, and so he didn't, he was my best friend, so a lot of people didn't get to know Tommy.
No, I
as
know. I
well.
didn't get to. He
You know.
passed before I was
Yeah.
born, and I'm sad to. I wish I could have known him. I've heard so
Tommy
many
was
great
like-
stories.
Johnny
about
could do whatever he wanted because nobody messing with Johnny. We would go to St. Augustine, Teen Town, and all them dances and shit. And Johnny could do whatever he wanted because Tommy was right there, the protector. He was like Captain America.
him.
I
Aw.
swear to God, you didn't have to worry. So it was. I'm really blessed to been able to, grow up with your family.
No, and that's amazing that
That's cool.
Johnny started Mandarin Mafia and just kind of like
Yeah,
brought you all together and made
Yeah.
a family, made a
Well, Johnny was like,
like
was
brothers.
He was like the little brother, and so he was younger. So we, of course, tortured him. Tommy and I were like 2 or 3 years older than he was, and that meant a lot back then. 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So freaking Johnny was like, if there's such a thing as being too nice,
Yeah.
and see, like when he would hurt his feelings, it would hurt you because he give you that pooped out lip thing, like, oh, man, I'm sorry, John, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but the baddest, listen, back in them days with surfing, and Steve can attest to this, they didn't have leashes on your surfboards. So Johnny could fall off his surfboard and would not have to swim to shore.
Wrap
That was
his toes around it. I learned how to also because that was a
His-
long swim.
I'm not like,
Wouldn't lose his board.
how come Johnny never loses board? We have to swim. That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Swimming to shore, like if you wiped out on a wave. But Johnny always never lost his board. And there weren't no leashes back then. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm like freaking.
When they first came out, we named them homo cords.
Remember that? Yeah. Oh, you got a cord? Oh, you got a
homo
Like the
cord?
bridge and
Sissy.
pull.
You sissy. Yeah, right.
Sissy stick.
Yes. Yes. But I'm telling you, Johnny done things on the surfboard I never re-entries and all that stuff before.
Yeah.
You know,
more-
rolling Biddy Hunter and all
It could
them.
be
Yeah.
a long swim
The more-
in though if
the-
you did lose it.
The more I got to know,
He didn't even realize how good he was.
I know.
You know?
He was just humble.
Yeah.
But the more I knew Shine, he was that man I wanted to be as good as. He was like a
Oh
mentor.
yeah, made us better.
And thank God we got to be really good friends.
Yeah,
We
made
had
you better.
hours, I mean, hundreds of thousands of hours of surfing together and stuff.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it just it's a brotherhood that grew,
Yeah.
you know,
Brotherhood.
That's what happened.
from that.
Yeah.
So Mandarin
Period.
Mafia, you'd call it a brotherhood.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
That's
it
what
was a
happened.
brotherhood.
It
Yeah.
started out as a childhood thing, a bunch of good friends, and then it just grew because it was
So-
really
No Mike
it was
Fletcher.
infecting.
So when did
The
Rusty
Fletchers,
come
the
in?
Moody's.
When did he join Mandarin Mafia?
Okay, so here's what happens.
Yeah, I got to hear his story.
This my I'll let Steve.
Is
tell
it the
his
girls? Is it the girls that brought him in?
story. No. Rusty was like, so they told me, said, okay, so my cousin's coming to move with us, right? Rusty. And I was like, and Tommy says, I'm telling you what, this is a mean little son of a gun. And I was like, all I heard was bad things, right?
Oh, no.
Not bad things.
But yeah.
Nothing good.
Well,
Was he a scrapper? Was he a fighter? Was he?
no,
like-
he ran him out of the high school up there because he ran up and down the freaking things in school, halls in school
Yeah.
with a white sheet on like KKK shit.
Oh
and that
my
was that was
gosh.
his stepdad that made him
Oh
do the
yes,
shit.
bad.
So
Yeah.
he couldn't go to that high school no more.
Oh
or junior
my
high,
gosh, I've
whatever it
never heard
was.
that story.
So they moved here. Sam Van Dyne says, I don't know about Rusty. I was like, and Tommy told me.
So that was,
Even when Tommy told me, beware, I was, and I was like, when I met Rusty,
Oh,
we were
yeah.
instant friends.
yeah.
Instant friends. I mean, that was all a bunch of bull.
Yeah.
No, Rusty fit right in with
Rusty
the Mandarin
was
Mafia. I
like-
can believe that.
That was like,
Fell right
I mean,
in.
I'm so happy about Rusty because, that's why I feel like Casey's like,
hmm
one of my sons, he said, just wanted to tell me stories. I said, well, I can't tell you all the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, was he a surfer also? Did
Yeah,
Rusty-
he surfed.
He did.
He surfed.
Okay.
He came from St. Augustine and Tommy and fucking Johnny are cousins. Jesus Christ. I mean, but he wasn't, nobody was on Johnny or Tommy's level.
That's okay.
I was-
They were out there, way out there.
I
Y'all
was
were all
average.
hanging out in the.
It made us all better. It made Steve better. It made me better. It made everybody better. And it's like when you play with somebody golf or whatever, it makes you better.
Mhm.
But I was never on that level. No way. We went to the small wave championships of the world in Cocoa Beach a couple years. And Johnny didn't have no idea that he could compete with these guys. I'm talking about these were freaking, guys that surfed all over the world. And he could, but because he didn't realize how good he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Steve?
He's having fun.
Just humble, having
Really?
fun.
Surfing was a big part of it. That got us into all that stuff.
Yeah, there was
music,
several years.
music was another thing because
Yes.
music was a big deal.
So let me ask you: did y'all ever do the bonfires on the beach?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, so awesome! I love those.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Whole weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, we took it for granted.
Somebody was tending to it all,
I mean, we
all-
took it for
all
granted
night.
back then because, like I say, but
Well,
racetrack.
it
race-
always been like that. You could go down there. Anybody could just go down there and hang for days. Nobody bothered them. You never seen
No.
a law.
Right.
Never was no
We'd
law.
leave a place cleaner and we found it because we'd pick it
Oh,
up.
yeah.
That was our
Yeah.
playground. We took
Yeah.
care of it.
That's
We
so
took
true.
pride in it.
That's so true.
Of course. Yeah.
Come home a lot of times, have to clean out the floorboards, other people's crap too,
Yeah.
But we'd clean it when we got there and clean it when we left.
So you guys, you you two, Sharky and Greg, you're not musicians. You don't really play music, right?
Are you
But
kidding me?
Steve, you do.
Steve
You're a
plays
musician.
harmonica.
You play guitar.
Wait, what?
Let me tell you.
He's
Yeah.
picked a
Wait
little
a
bit.
minute. I
that
don't think I've
dancing.
ever seen
He
or
sings.
heard anything.
He sings.
And he sings.
Yeah,
He was
sings.
just on stage with us at Iggy's
Where you been, girl?
Okay,
2 weeks
okay.
ago.
Okay, but
So listen, go ahead. I'll let Sharky tell the story.
because I know the musician, I know Johnny did, Rusty did, Steve. So
when
On occasions, we'd all get together and
well, Steve played the harmonica, but you know,
Jimmy,
Play some Skynyrd.
no, they were playing bluegrass.
no, I
golly.
played
That's what I
bluegrass.
was raised
James
on, yeah.
Bridges. James Bridges,
Yeah,
the gut bass.
Here's what had happened. We used to play at Gun and Tackle Club, right?
okay,
They did.
Yeah.
You know, Rusty and Johnny.
Yeah.
So we would go down there in the old days, and I said, listen. So I got Rusty to teach me some chords, and Johnny taught me how to play House of Rising Sun and
I love
Little
it.
Black Egg and
Right.
whatever.
Right.
So I be down that. So when the girls were down there at the dance thing, they were like, I had a lot better chance, you know. If you were in the band, yeah, a lot better. So I was like, so Rusty taught me some chords. Johnny taught me some chords. So I was in there. I was the artist at large, kind of,
Awesome.
you know, and I get up there and play. They thought I mean, it just means a lot, and it shouldn't mean anything, but guess what? It did. back
Whatever.
then.
That is so
I was
cool.
like, yeah.
I never knew that. That's
Me
that's
either.
cool that they played at the club. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I
That's
knew
cool.
they had to
Yes.
have done that, but I had no idea that you were playing some
Yeah.
music and
So
It's like cool.
Rusty and I were like really, really close. Casey's dad.
yeah.
Because when he moved, and we moved in as bachelors together, and
Just strum along with them. And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
Got right
and
in
I,
there.
so I was like, so I told Crawdad, I said, this is Crawdad.
Wait, who's Crawdad?
Rusty.
That's what you called Rusty, Crawdad.
Yeah, that was his
What?
name.
Everybody
Yeah,
had a
called
nickname.
So
That
he
was
had a
Crawdad.
nickname. I
Would
didn't
you
know.
be
that.
Crawdad Shine?
What?
What the heck?
Because Shine was Shine, and Rusty was Crawdad.
Okay.
Well, and
We
Shine,
messed our name up.
Man.
yeah, exactly. So freaking, I was like, shit. I was like, Crawdad was just trying to help me with it. Not go home alone at night. I mean, you know, you'd be amazed if you sing 2 songs with a band that is popular. It does.
There's something about that.
And
Let me
I
show you
was
what I
like,
could do.
I mean, it's E G D. Come on, man, I can do this.
It's not that hard.
E G
They
D.
don't know that. You're
No.
giving away your secrets, man. All of our secrets.
I know I should shut the hell up. Right now. But
I know-
anyway, so
I know
it was like, yeah. And I don't tell many people that secret, but guess what? It's okay.
So that's how you got the ladies.
I
back
hate
in the
to
day?
tell you that story. I mean, not that I had to cheat. I did have a good bullshit line every now and then, but it helped to have, it helped to be able to, you know, make women laugh. Okay, you're good. If you can make a woman laugh, I promise you're in there.
You got a chance.
You have it. So you say there's a chance.
Did
Whether
hear
they're
that.
laughing at you or with you,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
Usually I
Probably,
make them cry.
probably, I mean,
Just don't
Well,
make
it
them
doesn't
cry.
matter to me. I
Unless they're
promise.
laughing so hard
Right.
they cry.
It didn't matter to me, Carrie.
Work
As long as
for
you
me.
had them laughing.
No, I did used to play accordion when I was young, but guess what?
Accordion?
Yeah, Lawrence Welk ain't cool no more. yeah.
We're getting deep now.
Lawrence Welk.
You
Oh,
might
I
be able to
used to
play
watch
some
that back in the day.
Zydeco or something.
Hey, sometimes you can play accordion. That's pretty impressive.
I really wish.
I don't think
could
that's
do it.
easy.
I know, but
I'm like, how in the world?
yeah, I could read music and all that.
A lot going on
I
there.
wanted to play guitar. Of course, they didn't want to sell us a guitar. They wanted to sell us an accordion back in the day. They used to go around like Hoover vacuum cleaner salesmen and try to
What?
sell. Yes,
I never heard that
Yeah.
either.
back in the day, that's what they
They're
did.
selling
So
accordions.
they come and give you a taste. They give you a test. Say, oh, your son has a good ear for an accordion.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow.
And they say your mom and dad an accordion. And
That's
I was like,
amazing.
I did
I've
not
never
want.
heard of that.
I want a saxophone or a guitar. Okay.
But there was no door-to-door salesmen with that.
No. They didn't have those in the trunk of their car.
Oh, my gosh. That's hilarious.
That's where it was. So I'm telling on myself now.
I would have liked to have learned how to play the guitar, but I couldn't carry it in my pocket.
See, I
Yeah,
tried
yeah.
to learn, but I couldn't get past the how sore your fingers get, and you have to like build up the calluses.
Callus, yes.
No, I was like, no, not
Your
for-
mama
I don't.
was good.
I know.
Every time I break down my drums at night after a gig, I wish I learned how to play harmonica.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Well,
Why didn't I learn how to play harmonica?
It takes me like
Weren't near as many
3
parts.
minutes to put up my gear.
Exactly.
I
All
thought,
right, see y'all.
hey,
Y'all need any help? No. All
Yeah,
right.
right.
I thought it was so easy to play a harmonica, but it's not.
No.
Okay, so I got one, and I couldn't play shit on that thing. It's tricky to play that damn thing. So then I was
Kazoo.
saying,
I'd
you
probably
know,
pass out. I don't think.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, you get the breeze. You
coordinate
do
my
get the breeze.
breathing.
You know?
I get you.
Yeah, yeah.
Make noise on the way in and
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had I had old Yamaha motorcycle a long time ago. I named it Jumping Black Flash, and it was bald tires and all that. Well, back then you could ride it all over the place. Bayard, I mean, just nothing to worry about. But I'd go over to Horns pasture across from Bayard, which was all wooded, and I was dating this gal. She's about 8 inches taller than me, right? But I'd put her on the back. We go riding around. Well, I went up this hill and on a curve, and rear end slid out from under us, and something jabbed me in the ribs. So when I pushed myself up, I thought it was a stick, but somebody had lost a chromatic harmonica. And I said, well, wow, that's cool. God, that was in the daggum 70s. So I took it home, took it apart, cleaned it out, and started making noise with it, and kind of got hooked on that.
Oh, so that's where that started,
Yeah,
huh?
that's
You
where
just
that started.
fell on it, it hurt your ribs, and
Yeah, I literally got jabbed. I think I still have it somewhere. 'Cause I don't lose
that's
nothing.
awesome.
You know, I
Yeah,
keep
that's
everything.
awesome.
But yeah.
So Sharky, no music instruments for you? You don't play
He
any
plays,
instruments?
All my family are musical somewhat, you know, but me, I get static on the radio, honey.
That's
plays
me.
rednecks.
That's me. That's how I am. Everybody asks, and I'm like, nope. I like to listen.
Tuned in good on
I
the channel.
I
He
will
plays
listen.
a lot of XM radio.
Yeah.
I like to go listen to the live music, watch everybody else with their talent.
Somebody has a
Yeah,
piece of
pat my
support.
foot and do a little ham bone. That's about it.
Yeah.
Somebody
Hey,
has to be the
I'm
support group.
Right there with you. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just
That
yeah,
is
exactly.
a lot to do with it.
Or we're
Yeah.
just playing to ourselves.
Yeah.
Playing with
Yeah.
ourselves. Nobody likes playing with themselves.
Alrighty then.
Now I sound good in the shower.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Or in the car. In the car,
only
that's
place.
what
Yeah, there's two things men do in the shower. They either do their thing or sing.
Oh yeah.
What song do you sing, Sharky?
Doing my thing.
The gut bucket. I knew
Do
it
you
was
have any
going.
questions?
I knew it was going to go here.
Yeah. Anyway, let me try to change the subject. So
Finally,
And then you get old. Then you get old and you get wide open. You get a little more open to conversations in some cases, you know, where you just don't give a crap, you know? I mean, hate to say it like that, but you do say a lot. You talk about a lot more things than you used to in some cases. But Sharky and I, every time we get together, we talk about how we had paradise. Oh, man. And it's true. We
Yeah.
can leave Bayard, which we both grew up in Bayard all our lives, in 15 minutes be in paradise. And there's never going to be a time like that again. There's nowhere you can do that again, no matter what.
Not around
The
here.
beaches
anyway.
are closed. You can't drive on the beach unless you pay. It's just never going to be the same. But like
Yeah.
I said back then, you could drive from Volano to from Crossroads to Volano, and there was only a small, short strip of homes. Now, Crossroads, it's all homes.
yeah, isn't it like
They-
private beach too, where you can't drive on it because it's everybody
Right.
lives
They
on it now?
so-called protect
Yeah.
the sand dunes,
Yeah.
$250 for picking a sea oat,
Mhm.
but they build these multi-million-dollar homes.
right, yeah.
They've destroyed so much history.
Yeah.
I guarantee you back then, too, the Indians lived on them sand dunes like we did. There's artifacts up and down that shoreline. I've got 2 arrowheads in my collection that came from Crossroads
Wow.
on the beach. But they who is they? It's
People
the
with a
higher
lot
up,
of
the
money
rich,
that
the
can
rich.
think they can do whatever they want. Yeah.
Yeah. They got shot down not too long ago, though. Thank God they got shot down. They wanted to develop on into
Oh my gosh.
into Guyana some
Yes,
more.
I heard
and they
about
got
that.
shot
Nope, I was
down.
signing that thing. Nope,
Yeah.
we're not doing that.
But I mean, growing up in Bayard, Sharky and I, we could literally whistle and get each other's attention. He lives in the back corner, I live in the front,
Right.
but we could holler or whistle. My mom would whistle for me to come home. Her mom could holler for Sharky to come home.
I love that. That
You
little
know,
neighborhood's so cute. I love it.
It was a great little town to grow up in. It still is.
Yeah.
It's getting encroached on severely, but
Yeah.
Bayard's
Really?
still Bayard.
Yeah.
You know, there's still the folks that are alive that, and some have kids that have grown up or still live there too. But
Several generations has come
I wonder
up.
how
with
the-
it.
several
I love
generations.
that.
I wonder how the people moving in there, like the ones building because I've noticed there's a couple really nice homes back there, and I wonder how those people feel about like us. You know, like we're out there playing
At
and
Wayne's.
doing our thing, having a blast. You know,
Most
Yeah.
are antisocial.
right?
Unless you catch somebody sitting on their front porch and say who
Who's
you
that?
are, where you live, they pretty much. I've had people living straight behind me. I've not met them yet.
Yeah.
Not even
I
over
know-
the fence. Not even out on the
When
street.
I know Wayne got some grief for one of his chickens wandering down the road, and some lady with her dog got it or something.
Picked the
She was
wrong
like
neighborhood.
She was blaming Wayne for letting his chicken loose. I'm like, that's a chicken. That's what they
It's not
do.
going to get any
They're
better.
free range.
Look, when we
Like,
come
you do
up
know
out
this
there,
is Bayard, right?
there weren't
Right,
even
right.
people didn't even have fences in the yard.
No.
I don't know how
And
long
we
that's what I'm
that
saying.
Yard
It's
to
like-
yard playing, and we'd be playing football in somebody's yard that didn't even have kids, or their kids was grown, but they didn't care. Look out there and have a yard full of kids playing football. They didn't care.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
that's the way Bayard was. Everybody looked out for one another, even the blacks and whites.
Yeah,
We're all
exactly.
tight.
You didn't-
looked
That's
out for
that's
each
how
other.
I grew up too. It's like nothing was
And
an
you
issue.
didn't
We all
go to
got along.
bed and lay there. Did I lock the door?
Yeah.
You didn't even think about it.
Right.
I mean, that
Yeah.
was even in the city. I lived on the west side. It was even like that when I was growing
Yeah,
up.
I
And
still-
Yeah.
A lot has changed
Yeah.
everywhere.
I'm
I
thinking
feel
about
like
it.
Bayard's holding it down, though. I mean, honestly, I think those people that if they're coming in with the impression of taking over
Yeah,
and
yeah.
building, they're gonna lose that real
Yeah.
quick. You know?
they,
do
they
have,
need to be
no,
going a
they're-
little bit further down the way. Nakati.
We do
There
have
you
one
go.
fellow
That's
that
where you wanna
tried
go.
that, and
There's
he has
coming.
he has
Places
bought
to
some
go,
serious-
they can build like do
Exactly.
I'm
live in them
worried.
gated communities,
Yes,
or
exactly.
have
Just a
people
little bit
tell them
further
how
down the
when they
road.
got to cut the
I'm
grass and all
worried.
that. But
There's
Bayard
plenty
ain't
of
about
homes.
that.
elsewhere.
Some
Yeah.
people don't do their research.
I'm a little worried.
I mean, we had people out there that lived in nice homes, and we had people that lived in trailers, but they never looked down or up at each other. It was all,
Right.
good neighbors.
Yeah,
help
yeah,
each other
that's how it
out.
should be. We
know.
were even thinking about
That's why
looking for property over
Oh
there.
yeah,
You
I
know?
would love. I wanted to
Yeah,
live
good
over
luck.
there.
Yeah, right. Now,
You know Scott Witt.
oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, the mayor.
yeah.
He's the
Yeah,
mogul,
yeah.
the land
Yeah,
mogul.
yeah.
That's okay.
Is he
Oh,
the
yeah,
mayor?
golly, if you got it,
That's
get
The
it.
great.
governor.
Yeah,
That's
and he
great.
did.
I'll
and he
talk
did.
to him about buying some land.
He's
Oh, I thought we
he's
did.
a better
We
one to
tried-
have out
we
there
tried
if
to
you
buy
go
some
have
land.
somebody
That's who I
buying
would
land.
talk
He was being merciful on us.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Well, it's like it's getting scarce out there. There's not much.
Yeah.
Now you might want to talk to Luke. I think he
So
has.
you guys tell us some good stories, some stories that people don't know about, or maybe some trouble.
That's
Let's hear about some trouble.
No,
Come
we're not
on.
going to dig up any
Yeah.
bear.
Yes. Wait a minute. Okay. First of all,
Discriminating stories.
Come
What
on,
you
we're
want?
gonna dig up
First
anybody.
of all-
G-rated version
Okay.
of like
I have to know.
been arrested or
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I have to
well.
know. I have to know. Did y'all ever go to Vegas?
I've been
Together.
Not
there.
I mean, as Mandarin Mafia or anything? Okay.
Oh no, not
No,
I.
that-
not as a whole.
No.
Okay, I had to ask because I don't know. I found something, and when I was going through my
St.
uncle's stuff,
Augustine
and I was
was-
waves. Oh,
We
yeah,
couldn't
you did.
afford it.
Yeah.
St. Augustine was our party spot
Yeah.
going down there,
Yeah.
you
We
know,
went
and
to
partying.
we
What?
went to Bayard Dog Track.
oh yeah. Okay, let me ask you, what was probably the wildest thing that happened? Either a party, somewhere you got together, tell us what that wildest
Okay,
story
there's-
is.
Sharky, you know that.
Riverside Party.
Riverside.
Yeah, that was Darla
The
Mahan's
Mandarin
birthday.
Mafia.
All right, here we
Here,
go.
All right,
here we go. All right, here's a
it's
good one.
always Riverside. I've had
Well, the
some of
Mandarin
those.
Mafia and
But it was
girlfriends
all
and girlfriends. My first wife. We were all at a big party at a killer house over in Riverside, and there was people all over the place. A lot of friends, a lot of people. There's some people we didn't know, whatever. But anyway, it was going off pretty good. And Shine's wife, I think at the time was Shine's girlfriend, me and my wife, and other people. We were all out on the front porch. We were out there talking, smoking, whatever, and drinking. And all of a sudden, cop cars, paddy wagons, all pull right up front of the house. So I grabbed my wife and put her over the handrail, grabbed Jan, Shine's wife, put her over the handrail, and we ducked down the hedges and hauled ass. And I had borrowed my mom's car, big old LTD, Ford LTD. So we went to the car, had parked away, down the street a little ways, got in the car and rode around a little bit. What are we going to do? I don't know. I'm not going to jail. We're not going to jail, thank goodness. We rode back by the house that the party was at and could drive down the street, and everybody was in rows. The gals in one row, the men in one row,
Wow.
loading them into back of paddy wagons
What?
to go to
Was
jail.
it a drug bust?
No, well, I don't know about that. We
Well, I
were
mean,
hanging around to find out
what
they
made
found.
that
Underage
happen?
drinking.
It was underage drinking, various.
And it was Riverside.
It was,
I know
yeah,
Riverside.
They was called
Crazy
in,
things
and then
happen.
they come there and busted the party.
Were
It was
y'all
all
there too?
upstairs.
Were y'all there too?
Yeah, it was my girlfriend's party, Darla Mahan's birthday party. That's why they was doing it. That's Chris and Christy's house.
Oh my god.
The Greek. Remember the Greek? I know you remember the Greek. That was him and Bo, and Christy lived there.
Yeah, they were from.
Y'all
And,
were rocking the daggum.
We all come in. Well,
Yes.
everybody that come there brought what they was drinking
Yeah.
or
Party
smoking
favors.
or doing,
Party favors.
and the cops, and everybody was upstairs partying. Nobody looking out there, and then no lookouts. And anyhow, the cops
No, look out.
come out. The cops come up. And they had all the ways.
Wow.
Everything was blocked, all the entrances, so there wasn't much we could do but just hang out until there were
That
about
is
42
crazy.
of us. They loaded up.
Yeah. Well, the other
What was
Paddy
this?
wagons.
1970s?
Oh, gosh, that was in the 70s.
70s?
Yeah.
I was
My first son born in
It
72.
was 70s.
My first
Good
son
old
born in
70s.
72. And
It was like
that was before
69.
him. So
It was
that
like
might have been
69.
69.
That's crazy.
Wow.
this
Might
She
have
must have
been.
been pretty eager.
Cause-
Normally they just go home,
Yeah.
pour
yeah,
your beer
right.
out,
Well,
get home.
I think
get
it's
out of
something
here.
to do
what
with the city
happened
and
though, we
Riverside.
got there partying, and when they come and arrested everybody, there was 42 of them arrested.
Wow.
And out of the 42, there weren't but 3 of them that was 21.
Oh
so
my
everybody else was underage.
gosh.
And they hauled us down, booked us, and all that. And it was,
You got caught?
oh yeah,
You were one of the ones that got caught.
So
and
that was like,
yeah, they was 40, and they weren't but 3 of us of the guys that could pay our bill. There was me,
Oh
Fuzzy
my
Craven, and
gosh.
Gene Tucker.
oh,
We was
man.
the only ones, I guess, that was working back then. So
Yeah, they made a
and it
lot
wasn't
of money. That
$52,
year,
you know.
yeah.
But some that got out early, they went around and was getting up bail. And finally, everybody got out, and
That's insane.
luckily, Darla Mahan, her uncle was Lacey Mahan, and he was a big time lawyer then. And anyhow, we all went to court at one time. And
Line them up.
yeah, and when they was, they went for the judge
Processing.
and all, he was like, well, Chris and them got this. So, well, listen, we weren't checking IDs, but we weren't buying alcohol. They brought their own alcohol, and
Right.
and then they asked the cops about the alcohol. Well, we didn't catch none drinking. They, nobody, and so they said, but we smelled marijuana, and all that. So anyhow, the judge wound up dismissing all that.
Yeah.
He just
Wow.
throwed it out.
That's
And I think it was Christy, Bo, and Chris, or one of their buddies. Anyhow, there was 3 that they had to, because they was minors, so they wound up having to, I think, a separate court case, but they wound up, I believe, throwing it out. It didn't amount to nothing, just a little court cost or something,
Right.
embarrassment. But Darla Mahan was the reason we got out of that.
That's awesome.
They had to pull. They had to pull.
Wow.
But
They had the money.
that was, and there was a little few of them was doing a little. I hate to say this on TV.
I can bleep it out.
That's right.
Few of them was doing a little acid back then, you know, tripping and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's
So they was, you know, when they had us all in back of the
Oh my God, I
van,
couldn't imagine.
you know, we going downtown and it's hot and the windows up, and son, we got to rock in that van. That bastard, he could roll them windows down there and get us some air back there. We was gonna flip that van.
I wish I was there because the same night, which is like really kind of a freaking coincidence.
Oh, you weren't there at that party, but you were at another party?
I know. I got busted. I went to jail the same night. And I got busted with
He was somewhere else.
the bass player and
He was
Lynyrd
on
Skynyrd.
way to the party.
he was
Yeah.
with the bass player Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Well, anyway, we went down. They took us to jail, and they had all of them in the holding cell. And
The whole band?
Everybody from Mandarin was in there, and I was like,
Er-
my sister. Everybody was like,
Everybody and their sister.
I said, they did it right.
Terry was there because
They raided
she was
Mandarin.
dating John McDermott.
So-
He was one of them who was high as hell because he had a bunch of acid
Terry?
on
The
him.
night
Your
the
sister?
42. So the night the 42 were arrested,
Same night.
he got arrested in another location.
That is so funny. Of course.
At
They were on the
Rusty,
prowl that night.
at
They were
Rusty's
looking
over-
for Mandarin Mafia.
They
That's
were
what it
rounding up the
was.
mafia. That's right.
At Rusty
Got 'em now.
Owen's house.
We're going to get them all.
Right, Rusty Owen and Faye and I and my girlfriend went to a movie and come back to Rusty's house, and Larry Johnson, the bass player for Lynyrd Skynyrd, lived with us, and they were waiting. The bicycle was waiting for us and busted us for possession
Oh yeah, that sounds like a
Psychedelic.
That was a
of
Take
the
it
setup.
down
psychedelic touch.
Mandarin Mafia
Uh-huh.
takedown.
Yeah,
Somebody
so we
was
went.
looking out
So I went.
for
I said
for
they
y'all.
took all. Everybody I knew was in jail. I was like, damn, they
Yeah,
took
what's
the,
up?
all the man.
Here's the party.
I
Now,
swear
one
to
of our
God.
We
great-
got them all.
One of the great excursions from Mandarin Mafia was when Celebration of Life out in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Greg and
Oh,
them,
yeah, I heard about
Greg
this
and
too,
them
yes.
went out there at the beginning of it. And
Yeah.
who all was out there with y'all then?
Billy Shepherd,
Mike Fletcher,
Mike
Johnny,
Fuzzy,
Sam Van Dyne was there.
McGovern.
I know Josh was out there. Was Billy?
McGovern.
Billy might have been. The McGoverns.
Yeah,
there. You.
Oh,
And
yeah.
me and Fuzzy went out there and
You-
caught the last 3 days of it.
Fuzzy. Wait a minute.
Fuzzy
Craven.
Craven.
The Cravens
What?
were a big part of it.
So
Road.
Fuzzy. Okay, that I've never heard of the Fuzzy.
Walter.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd went out there, and this place, God, it was thousands of people. It was a big.
And this was in Louisiana. Did
Yeah.
they only do it in Louisiana?
Well, back then they were having a hard time doing festivals after Atlanta, and festivals got harder and harder to do because of crowd control and
Okay.
food and all that stuff. It got a little out of hand.
Yeah.
You know, they had to bring in National Guard. You know,
But that was pretty. That was a wild
it was
festival
like-
out
when
there.
you get like 3-4.
Was it like Wani?
No,
No.
No,
it was
way
like
bigger.
3 or 400,000. It was like-
Swanee is
it
tame
was like
compared to that
Woodstock.
place. Look, this
Woodstock.
place, you could go down next to the woods down there. You had the swamp people, the mud people, and there was people. They would be naked. They're just rolling in the mud, and they'd be posing like
The mud-
statues and
the
shit.
mud people.
hanging on
The mud
stumps and
people.
trees.
And we'd be
Oh my
like,
God! Did you ever get pictures? I would love to see those pictures.
and I said, Sharky.
No, no pictures
We
were
didn't
taken
have
back then.
cameras back then. Hell,
That's what they always say.
and
We did
Not
everything
everybody
before
carried a
pictures.
Kodak, right?
when we got in about
They didn't
50
have
miles of
cell
that
phones
place,
back then.
No, I
They
meant
had bought the
cameras.
stores
Yeah,
out.
cameras. We see cameras
Yeah,
from Wood.
but-
I mean, pictures from
But
Woodstock.
you didn't carry them
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you when you
No,
went.
not for the mud people.
Little
Camera
throwaway,
like,
little
hold on with
throwaway.
the hood
cameras.
over it. The flash that goes.
Okay, wasn't
Well,
that
that
far
wasn't-
back?
Hey, so all
Get
the
a picture.
rednecks
Oh,
were
yeah.
running up down in the banks on the goddamn
Western.
banks, looking at all the naked girls, mud people.
yeah, they would look like
Mud people.
safari boats. You
I'm
know,
gonna have
they'd
to
have
Google
people
that.
in the boats
Yeah,
with the
right.
umbrellas, and they'd come up there close to the shore, just looking at all the hippies and stuff. And about that time, it looked like a Tarzan movie. All the natives would go swimming out to the boats, and the boats would trying to get away from them.
Get out of here.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
coming.
that's like the rainbow
Mud
gatherings I went to.
And the drunk rednecks were jumping out of their boats, swimming to shore, trying to
The mud ladies.
get with the mud people.
Oh my gosh.
A
Oh,
mud
man.
chick.
Wow, that's wild.
Trying to score a mud chick.
Yeah.
A mud chick.
Mud chicks. There's
Yeah.
mud chicks over there.
Yeah. They would sit there like a statue. You'd be out at night. They'd be like, mate. And they
They're all dried in the mud.
Yeah.
Mud
Yeah.
statue.
It was wild looking.
They're all crackling.
Crusty.
And I'm sitting there in a crowd of people, and Sam Van Dyne comes by. You know, we don't even know where they're at. You know, we're just there at it because we showed up late, so we're just there at the festival. And Sam Van Dyne comes cruising by. I'm like, damn, Sam, you know, and he turned me on to a couple of hits of some Tuies or something, some downs. Anyhow,
Something or another.
Something.
Later on that night, I'm sitting there with a gal trying to get a joint lit, and this fella's down, hey buddy, trying to get a light, and hell, it's Greg. He's standing there beside me, didn't know that till. And
There's 300,000 people.
And he turned me on to the Little Orange Sunshine.
Oh, something again.
Something or another.
Look, talking about a high hippie.
A little this, a little that.
I had a little thing of mace in my pocket, you know. And so after the concert, man, I'm high, man, and I'm trying to find my car. And all of a sudden, I get this premonition, somebody's following me. And so I'm looking around and I'm thinking, you know, somebody's behind me. And I back into some people. And when I did, I just turned around and it's this couple. And I just hose them down with
Oh
the
my
mace. I give them shit.
Oh,
And
my
I-
Oh, whatever
I
that
run.
something was.
Yeah.
That was the last of the
tripping.
pop
Yeah.
festivals.
And I get back. Finally, I find my car. You know, I'm get back there, and I'm looking over in the back seat. And somebody's in my back seat, and I'm getting ready to squirt them.
Well, that was some paranoia.
Yeah,
That stuff.
it was, you know, and it was fuzzy. I'm fixing to give him a
Oh,
good
shit.
too. And he gets, and finally he says, "Hey, sorry." And he goes to talk with me. He says, "Yeah." He talked me down. Okay, I'm back at the car. Good, everything's
Yeah.
safe.
Brown acid.
It's fuzzy. You know,
Yeah,
everything's
don't
cool.
do the brown
But that was a
It's
high
prob-
hippie that night. But
It's probably not a good idea to take pepper spray to a festival.
Well,
not unless
especially if
use
you're
it.
partaking
Hey, it
a
come
little
in handy for
something,
me. There ain't nobody run into me after that.
probably a good idea not to do the brown acid.
Or yeah, that's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that you did. That's right. That was
That's
a
something or
mistake.
another.
That's something.
Should
Oh,
not have
man.
done that. Something or another.
Yeah.
But that was probably one of the biggest and baddest party I ever been to as far as music and all, and just all kinds of crazy
Sounds
shit
pretty
happened.
awesome.
Were there any like known bands there? Or
Hell,
Yeah.
Bonnie
Allman
and Delaney
Brothers?
back then was real big, and It's a Beautiful Day. I remember especially them two, and I don't know. After that, I was so high. I don't know.
Oh my
then,
goodness.
It was
It
on.
didn't matter
It
who
was
was
on.
playing.
I don't know who
They
was
could've
up there.
done-
Steven Stills.
Yeah,
And,
I mean a lot of big names,
yeah.
especially the last night or two, and we had stopped me and Fuzzy on the way, went through Georgia, and we just happened to get some watermelons and tomatoes because we went by some of my kin folks, and you know they had tomatoes and stuff, you know, out farm. I said, "Man, let's get some of these." And so, good thing we did. We got within 50
Yeah.
miles of that place. They had bought everything
Yeah,
out
food was at a
that
premium.
was on a shelf
Yeah.
that you could eat. I didn't care what it was.
That's what happened. People
It
ran
was
out
gone.
of food.
That's what happened in Woodstock.
Yeah.
They had
Just
it.
cleared out the whole area.
And we got there
People
and
were
we'd bust the
stealing.
watermelon and eat the heart out of it, right? And
That's a
go
good
on,
one.
and we'd come back, son, it would be scraped out to the rime. Some of us just coming by there, they was eating the
Oh my
rime.
god, a watermelon.
Hey, the rime's good too.
Well, hey, they was eating it, but we was getting the heart. We was getting the choice
They
part.
got the good stuff.
They was eating it. But
Yeah, that
yeah,
was-
people were literally starving at that place. So we had
Everybody's-
tomatoes and watermelons.
Everybody like stole their parents' car to go there and shit. But not really stole it, borrowed it. Yeah.
We were coming back home and had we went out there in the old blue Charger, my old blue Valiant, and
Valiant.
coming back, this thing is just, it was blue, but it was almost black from the dust and all that was over it. And all you could see, we ran the windshield wipers and knocked the dust off so you could see. And we was coming through Mississippi, and a state trooper stopped us, and there was Mike Fletcher was there. We didn't let him drive. Hell, he was screwed up. He couldn't drive the whole time.
Good
So we never let him behind the steering wheel. I think Johnny might have been driving. Johnny and him rode back with me and Fuzzy. And anyhow, they pulled us over, or the state trooper did. He said, "Yes, sir. We doing something wrong?" He said, "No, I just wanted to see what was going down my road. You know, he didn't see what the hell was in this car. He didn't mess with us. He said, I just want to see what's going down my road.
Scare the shit out of you.
Yeah, where y'all boys going? We get back to Florida. Okay, y'all just keep going then." And he didn't hassle us or nothing, but he did. He pulled us over just to get a look at us. You know,
I think that was the last pop festival.
you know, that was for
One of the last pop festivals.
It the last big one I know of.
Yeah.
Besides Woodstock in Atlanta was probably
Atlanta.
the two biggest, and then that one was every bit as big.
So did y'all go to a lot of festivals? A lot of music
No, that was
festivals?
the only one I ever made.
I
To
went to
Steve, you made it to
Woodstock
Atlanta
and
Festival,
Atlanta.
didn't
Yeah. So there
Yeah.
was one in Atlanta y'all used to go to. What was that one called?
you? Well, they
Atlanta.
Atlanta Music Festival?
Yeah, it was a
Atlanta.
little place called, well, it was out just out the edge of called
Wait.
Byron.
Yeah, Byron.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty crazy.
It was $18 to get in that.
Nice. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
$18.
$18 to get into a festival?
I wish I still had the
yeah, and when
Yeah.
me and Fuzzy got
Tell
out
you
there, it was already wide open, so it didn't cost us nothing. We just drove on in, you know, and we got
The good old days.
Yeah.
Good old days.
That's funny.
And
That
I went
was,
to Woodstock too, so
would-
Woodstock
I would-
was free.
I wouldn't want to say that was before the 8-track, but I had a portable phonograph, and I took albums
yeah.
so I could listen, put it in the back
What?
seat of the car and listen to albums.
Like crank it up or
Wow.
something?
No,
It just played?
actually it ran off of batteries.
Batteries.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
batteries,
bigger
I
batteries.
hate to
yeah.
tell you, but there was a 4-track.
There had to be 8-track by then.
There was a 4-track.
Yeah,
Four
four
track.
track.
I had a 4-track.
Now I went to Watkins Glen, me and Mike Fletcher in '74 when we was up in New York. We went to watch. That was a 3-day festival. Now that was a while.
They had a few right around then, but what happened is they couldn't handle the food. The crowd control got out of
Out of
hand.
control.
And that's what happened.
What is this crowd control? Is this like they had festivals and then all of a sudden there was
What?
like a
Nobody-
control
they
and they
run
just
out of
wanted
food.
to.
Nobody to police
run
it.
out of food?
You have a week festival and you had
It's
food
just
for
like
about
people
2
were
days
ODing,
and
and people were
restrooms and
ODing.
water. And,
And they didn't have enough people to take
Yeah.
care of the people
Yeah.
at the OD tents. And
yeah, they had OD tents everywhere.
think about 600,000 people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That was
I guess
at
so.
Atlanta.
That's crazy.
And-
It's just
That
It's
little
hard to
towns
man
that was
that.
around them, they'd just take them over.
Yeah.
yeah. They run all the stores around there run out of food and
Mhm.
everything because they buy all the liquor, all the food, and everything up, water and everything. So, because when you get that influx of people coming in,
hmm
they buy everything out, and then second day, 2-3 days, it's out. Everybody's out of water.
And all the
everybody's out of
cars are
food.
all
and they
parked
still
everywhere.
have plenty of drugs.
Imagine getting out of that parking lot.
Exactly.
They weren't running out of drugs though.
No.
That's crazy.
We had a little mini festival out in Horns pasture one time, right, going out to Bayard
Yeah.
For,
Thanksgiving.
for Tommy when he got hurt.
Oh yeah.
They had a fundraiser. Remember
yeah,
that?
that's Right. I remember that.
Yeah, it was like a little 2 or 3 day festival.
Yeah.
We went around and got local bands and all and generators, and we was
Yeah.
out in the woods.
Yeah.
I took my dad to that one.
Big party.
I
Big
took
party
I
going
took Tony to that one. So funny. Ran into some of the crew, and somebody had a gas mask with a bowl on it. Right, fill that joker up with pot. And my dad said, "Let me try that thing." And he squatted
Tony?
down. Tony did, yeah.
Yeah.
He sat beside a tree. He sat down beside a tree and fired that damn thing up, and you couldn't even see his face.
Oh, he was there for a while, wasn't he? He probably did not move for a minute.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
dad liked to
Tony.
drink, but he'd smoke some weed every now and then. Especially if I had it.
Experiment. He was pretty. He was
Yeah, he was all right. He
pretty
was
laid
okay
back.
with that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But hell, my mom was golden, but when it came to smoking pot, I smell that stuff. She
Yeah.
never really got on to anybody because it's like she did research. She knew that, hey, God created pot, man created liquor. Who do you trust?
Right.
Well, she know that the pot smoking weren't as bad as the
Yeah,
drinking.
yeah.
She doesn't see the results of what the drinking will do and the smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But well, we had some good times though.
Sounds like
yeah.
it.
Well, the main thing
That's awesome.
thing is, okay, so Mandarin Mafia thing started as a group of friends and family.
Yeah.
It grew and got bigger and bigger. And
I mean,
it was
and
like,
look what's become of it. I mean, we have such
Well,
a
it's
great
like-
family
it
and
was
friends that.
Well, we're still
the
tight. We
Fletchers
I
and
know.
the movies
intermarried
and
a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, as far as
everybody,
Greg married into
everybody's-
my family, so
Yeah.
that tied
Oh,
us
okay.
together.
I did not know that. Wait a minute. Wait a
Sons
minute.
of
Wait
my
a minute.
nephew.
Let's go
Yeah.
back. Let's
Wait,
go back.
wait.
So Jackie, was it Jackie?
Jackie, yeah, Jackie was my niece,
Price.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
my
okay,
sister's
I did
daughter.
not know that.
Yeah, she was
Yes.
my sister's
Well,
daughter.
you don't think
Okay.
it's hard to get in the Price family?
I'm telling you, everybody's related to somebody. That's why I married somebody from California. Just so you know,
Really?
because I probably would have ended up
it's
marrying my
real
cousin,
hard.
right?
Yeah, get away.
Everybody's my cousin.
So,
It's
so
real
Greg
hard to
married
break.
into the Price family, and Faye
It's
married
hard to. break
Rusty,
into.
so that connected the
Real
Price
hard.
family
Yeah.
to them. Then
They
you
did
get
That's
out
why
there.
now we're all related.
You don't actually think they wanted me in that family. They were like, "Who in the hell is this Yankee son of a bitch?" You know. And I mean, it was hard. It took a
We probably
minute.
have that in common.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can relate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Whoa, what do I got to do now?" You know. So
Well,
anyway, now
And they used to, over at Burnett Park, have
took
parties
time.
and stuff. You know, they had a dance hall, and you get a band and rent the hall, and everybody go dance and stuff at it.
I love that.
And-
I love those
and,
little
oh,
dances.
yeah.
Now, back in the day, there was a redneck side and a hippie side, you know, and we would kind
the
of,
rich and
you know,
yeah.
Don't tell them that story.
I got to.
Wait, were the hippies more the rich?
The hippie, you know,
No?
we was Mandarin Mafia and all, you know, surfers and all.
Yeah.
But that was when Faye was dating Rusty and all, and so they was there, and hell, Greg was there and his girlfriend at then, and was Sharon Bloom and Joe Price, Faye's uncle. Well, Sharon Bloom was a good looking thing, and so Sharon's Faye's uncle, Joe, he's kind of, you know, making out of that. He's wanting to, what it is, he's wanting to dance with her. He's wanting to get, so fine, he gets over there and asked her to dance, I guess, to get out to dance with Odell, Joe's wife. Son, that you know, she's old redneck gal. Here, this good-looking blonde dancing my old man
hell
out there,
no.
and she just too close. So anyhow, Odell comes out there and grabs, you know, Sharon by the hair of the head, son, just, you know, starts kicking her ass right there on the dance floor. Next thing you know, Greg's trying to break it up, hey, and then Joe turns on Greg, and next thing you know, it's a fraud. Everybody's
Oh my
going
god!
after each other, but Aunt Betty straightened things out, though. Aunt Betty ran a tight ship, you know.
Yeah.
She got
Funny
on
thing
the
also
ass.
back then we had
Aunt Betty, that's
redneck
Faye's mom,
family.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
sorry, we had redneck family and stuff also, you know, that shunned on the long hair and all that crap. We weren't no peace loving dope type of hippies.
Mhm.
We worked, served, we had fun, we did all that stuff. We looked like hippies.
Yeah.
We didn't act like them.
Right.
But the funny thing is that the more of the redneck, or the bigger the redneck back then, turned out to be the better pot growers later on.
Right.
You know, that's
we're
where
like,
you got
oh,
your
we're
better
Well,
weed.
friends.
we took ridicule from and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But you know what? As we growed up and we got older, you know, they was older than us anyhow, and they were family.
Yeah.
And
That's when the
it
hippies and the
was just
rednecks
part of
became
growing
family.
up. I mean, when we growed up, we was tight hell. You know,
Yeah.
Joe Price, he was one of the baddest rednecks you ever met. But down there at the hunting camp, he didn't let nobody mess with us. You know, he didn't mess with them boys. You know, you
Yeah,
got to talk
I
to
love
me. You know, he can mess with us, but he didn't let
Right.
nobody
Yeah,
else
yeah,
mess with us. You know?
exactly.
You know. But
But-
they had a rumble then, so
Funny
But-
how that turned around, though. How they were the better growers, or whatever, you know.
So you had the
Better than-
hunters and the growers,
Yeah.
and you all just became good friends. And so you got
We were all growers.
yeah.
I was a grower, I was a grower a
Wicked
long time ago.
yeah,
And I moved down to Seminole Beach one time. I managed to live down there for a year, and I was building homes and stuff in that same area. I'd ride a bicycle to work, you know, and had a little patch of woods behind my apartment. This little duplex apartment. Well, I'd go out my back door and have a little, look like a cave in the bushes. I'd go back there, And the friend of mine that lived there before me had cleared out a spot to hang a hammock and all that, So I went out there and did a little farming. So every time I'd go to Bayard every 2 weeks, every time I'd go to Bayard, I'd go and get some good rich swamp mud and dirt,
Right.
and take it back there and mix it into that beach sand and shell. Well, I was literally the first one to grow sinsemilla back then. And my neighbors just loved me to death. I mean, I'd come home after I had a good little harvest and was sharing it, and I wasn't selling it. I was smoking it myself and
Right.
giving it to my neighbors,
Right.
Hell, I'd come home and I'd have a bag of big old fat tomatoes and cucumbers and carrots and all kind of stuff from people that lived that little community,
Yeah.
And, it was really cool time. But I'd never do it until I actually just started kind of experimenting, I started growing when I was young.
Yeah, my parents had a tomato garden, but in between there was some other little fancy
Heck yeah.
trees.
Just
But it was a tomato
around a little
garden.
bit.
I built
They blended in real well.
I built a pyramid behind my house. I was living at home for a little while, which thank God for my parents. They let me move back in every time I needed to, right? But I had a pyramid out back, and you could see the damn thing from the street. But I put plastic around it, We had quail. We were raising quail and chickens and stuff like that, so made the best fertilizer.
Yeah.
I really didn't think
yeah.
about it.
Yep.
I didn't think about it too thoroughly, so I got out there and chopped the ground up inside of it and mixed that manure in it, and I made some rows. Well, I only made my rows about 8 inches apart, right? In a freaking 3-week time, they were like almost chest high. They were waist high, and you couldn't hardly separate them. They were just way too thick.
Yeah.
I mean, I just sowed the hell
That's
out of
like
seeds,
these tomatoes.
thousands of seeds. It was one of those things.
Yeah, these tomato plants out here, because of our chickens, they just go wild and just I'm like, how are they doing this? Because our chickens are going and fertilizing.
Yeah. I remember one day I came home from work. Mom said, "You need to get them plants out of there. I'm starting to get worried about it because they were sticking to the plastic, right? They looked like hands stuck to the plastic. Right? You could see it all the way from the street." So anyway, I went to work that Monday and got back home that afternoon. Mom says, "Well, when did you have time to do something with your plants?" I said, "I didn't. I went out there and someone had cut the whole back of that greenhouse and pulled them all up. Pulled them all up.
Wow.
And they were just starting to bud. So I was just starting to separate males from females.
Bastards.
You never found out who did it?
Oh yeah. The dumbasses
You always know who did it.
Dumbasses hung them put them in a garbage bags and hung them on a barbed wire fence down in the woods where one of them lived, and they weren't worth a damn.
Yeah.
It was all
Got them too green when they
moldy green weed,
Well, they weren't mature.
I wouldn't have fed it to a cow.
Hadn't even budded good, had to.
Yeah, it wasn't worth a damn.
That's the biggest problem when you grow a pot is people find out.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because it ain't the law. It's the fashion.
Yeah,
system.
right.
It's your
Yeah,
friends.
but
It's your friends. It's your buddies.
What are you gonna do? Call the
We
police?
say we're buddies, but hey, they get hard up, want some good weed. I grew some in buckets one time. I lived off of 13 long time ago. I call it the Rat Palace. But I lived there for 7 years. And I think the JEA man took me one time. I think he came and read the meter and took my weed. So I said, okay, well, I took and got some 5-gallon buckets and took gray and black and kind of camoed the buckets.
Right.
And I had these live oaks. So I took my extension ladder and get up in the live oak and pulled them up in the damn trees and grew them. That's the only way I could grow weed without it getting ripped off.
Interesting.
Clever.
But it was hard to water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you hoped it rained all the time.
Yeah. Well, you could spray it and then it goes up.
Then Fuzzy, talking about Fuzzy earlier, one time he gave me some seeds that were supposed to be Hawaiian. And my God, when I got those plants to grow, started growing those, you could walk out, step to the back door, and they were 150 feet from my back door. If the wind was just right, you could just close your eyes and follow your nose.
Is that the Maui Wowie?
It probably was the Maui Wowie,
Yeah,
but
right.
it was so damn good. And it got to where they were budding really good. And I never did get to harvest all of that either.
Aw.
Some SOB took them.
Oh my
Damn,
gosh.
They were on to you.
I'm not going to say a name, but he's passed away.
Oh.
since then.
Yeah. Oh. Man.
Yeah, that's the trouble.
And he wasn't really a friend.
Ain't that many of us left anymore, man.
No,
No,
that's
because
something
you
Greg-
would have been sharing with your friends. So.
Yeah, Greg.
Yeah.
Greg gets back in. We'll bring that up a little bit. How so many of the mafia, the old Mandarin Mafia is gone.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I'm so glad that you guys decided to come out and share the
Kind of
stories.
remember a little bit.
Yeah.
They probably forgot more than remember, but man, we used to, we was running wide open everywhere we went. Though.
I love it. I
That's
love
awesome.
hearing about those days.
And we could go, Mandarin was small enough back then. There was one store over in Mandarin right there where the fire department and all that was at. And that was, what was it? Well, it was Handy Way.
Like Ricky Road? Or
It was a Handy Way right there where old Mandarin Road comes out right there to 13 where the Mandarin Terrace is, old Mandarin Terrace right there. And they had the chicken coop and all that. Yeah. You could go there on a Friday night and hang out
Well,
10,
Rick,
15 minutes.
You're fine.
And that's where everybody would congregate,
fine.
that was where you met.
Yeah, I like them.
And
It's good, huh?
We would sit
Have a
there
seat.
and meet up. And within 15, 20 minutes, we had a party going on somewhere, everybody, because that's where everybody would meet up. You couldn't stand it. He had to get up and dance with him over that good-looking blonde.
You weren't in here when you
no
talked
deal,
about
but she went off
And
then.
not only
There you
that, he broke Rusty's jaw.
Wait, what?
He
Bro,
fractured
Rusty,
Rusty's jaw.
I'll tell you what.
He hit Rusty. Rusty and Faye were fixing to get married, and Rusty was defending me. So Joe Price hit Rusty in the jaw and fractured his jaw
Oh,
before they were fixing to get married.
what?
And
Joe was
Ellis,
a big old boy, too.
yeah, and
Wow.
Ellis was like mad, wanting to jump on Joe, which is his youngest
Yeah, y'all
brother.
are some rowdy bunch.
Yeah, it was a freaking fiasco.
Yeah. Needless to say, they didn't have another dance party over
That
for
was-
that
I guess
party.
not.
That was the last dance party at Burnett Park.
Wow.
Yeah.
Joe Price was one of a. They had a Mandarin Mafia too, way before we were born,
Yeah.
right?
And
Well,
they
during
wanted to kill hippies.
Hurricane Dora hit Florida. Him and his crew went to the damn Jacksonville Zoo and depleted about half of the alligators.
The alligator farm.
Yeah, they killed 200 gators.
Wait,
Killed
what?
They went to
Yeah.
the Jacksonville
They killed
Zoo
the
during the
gators?
hurricane and slayed alligators.
Why would they
for
do
for
that?
the gator tail.
Because they were there.
Oh
for the alligator
my
tail.
God.
Gators was there.
They were hungry.
For
I don't know nothing about
Easy.
that.
It's the
I
easy
don't know
place to go to hunt
anything
gators
about
is
that.
in the zoo.
Oh, that's-
Wow, that's sad. That is not hunting.
I
That
don't
is
know.
literally just going.
I
to
don't know what the statute
That's
of
a
limitations
gator murder.
are on that.
Gator
But-
murder.
That is not
It was-
hunting.
It
Gator
was-
hides was selling good that year.
It was,
Wow.
it was big news. It was national news.
And they would have made it.
It was during the
They would
hurricane.
have made it. But one of the
Pissed off
wives
wife.
got pissed off at one of the husbands and turned them
Exactly.
all in. That was about a year later or so after it all happened.
Yeah.
That's what made Joe Price famous.
Hell,
I
the
bet you that.
Wow.
One of the things that made Joe Price famous. There you go.
Wait, who's this? Who's this Joe Price?
His uncle, or Jackie's uncle.
Yeah, he was Jackie's daddy's cousin.
Right,
Yeah, it's
right.
Reuben's uncle.
Reuben's uncle.
Ruben's uncle.
Yeah, Reuben
Yeah.
Faye's
I
uncle.
know. There's some hunters over there.
He was the youngest. Joe was.
He was the,
But-
what would you say?
Jimmy Price's daddy. I don't know if you know Jimmy Price.
The outlaw.
Or Misty. You know
He was
Misty?
the outlaw
That's her
that-
daddy.
Oh.
None of the game wardens wanted to. Go after
Oh,
him.
Misty's the.
Oh, no.
okay.
Listen,
I can say
they're
that
dead now,
'cause he's
so they
dead.
can't do nothing
Yeah,
to
right.
them. But-
I'm pretty
but-
sure.
They burned up a game warden's home.
Yeah,
Man.
they didn't want to.
They are some wild bunch. That's
Oh,
all you.
these dudes.
See,
did
that's what
not
I'm saying.
play.
I
Prices
married-
are wild.
So I married into that family. Okay, so I'm like,
These boys
and I'm
didn't
like,
play.
okay.
What
So
have I
Joe
done?
Price is your uncle, and well, Ellis and Fat Daddy, they were all cool as hell. But but Joe was a different.
Well,
thing.
word has it they burned it up. They never could prove they
Right.
burned it up.
There was a rumor going on around.
Rumor.
You tell
Word
Greg's
on the
filtering.
street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Greg can barely speak right now. He's filtering so
He's
hard.
already
Yeah,
said
yeah.
we're gonna have to
What can
edit
I
that
say?
out.
I can't say
I'm not-
anything.
Look,
I
they're,
really can't say anything right now.
they're,
So,
He ain't told
On a
you
happy
that.
We're
day.
getting close.
do
We're out
you
an
want
hour
to?
and
Do you
30
want
minutes.
Yeah, that
to?
was
Do you want to
cool.
wrap it up, honey?
So
I
okay,
think-
Wrap
You gonna
it up.
wrap it up?
We're gonna wrap it up.
All right.
Anybody have any other stories they want to tell?
Oh, there's more,
It's
but
been-
you
I'm
know.
sure there's
Yeah, oh yeah,
more.
we can have a part
We might-
2, part 3. We can get more.
The thing is, there's a
People-
lot of other people that were in the kind of Mandarin Mafia thing, like the younger, like Tucker's and
Right.
Bruce and Moody and Fuzzy, and all these younger ones that it's just family,
Yeah,
friends having a good time.
I mean,
You know?
honestly, when this gets out, we can have, part 2 and part 3
Yeah,
or
there you
whatever.
go.
You know?
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, I want to do one.
Other
Come
people
on.
can add to it, you know,
Yeah,
and tell
exactly.
their stories.
They'll be like, wait a
Yeah.
minute, let me tell you my side of the story.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
monthly
Yeah.
Mandarin Mafia.
Well, I would like to say this, not as an ending, but the beautiful thing about the Brotherhood and what we named the Mandarin Mafia and all that is that we got to see a lot of damn good kids grow up. Their kids,
Yeah.
our kids,
Yeah.
and that's been a great thing too.
Yeah,
It's all
Like-
part of growing
like
up or
Casey and
being
Jeremy.
It's true. We're all
getting
friends.
older and
Yeah,
all,
most
but
of our-
that's been a
your
great
kids.
thing
Casey and Jeremy.
too.
Yeah.
is a
Well, we
perfect
didn't move
example.
away. We stayed here and raised our families
Exactly.
Stayed
and
friends, stayed connected,
kept a bond, you know.
Yeah.
watched our kids grow up.
I know my cousins.
I love that.
My cousins were like
Got
brothers and sisters to
grandkids,
me.
yeah.
We were all very close.
Yeah,
And
I knew all your family.
and
Yeah.
get to play music with them.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Best part,
I wish
And it's
Patty
been-
was here.
handed down.
Yeah.
Generation.
That's one thing I've noticed about like being from California, and like my family was close, but nothing like y'all. I love every one of your family. I mean,
Yeah.
you've taken me in, crazy Californian. I
Yeah,
love
I was
it.
wondering where the hell
I mean,
you came from.
Like Hardy calls me out there to hunt and shrimp, and I mean, you guys are good people. You're my family.
So
So
you can relate how I came into it. Same thing. I came in kind of like you did, Todd.
Yeah,
It was
right.
like, God, I had to fight my way through.
So where
shit.
did you move from?
Ohio.
Ohio.
But I was like 9 or 8 or whatever. I was young. Okay, so I'm a damn Yankee. Okay, because I never went back. You know what I mean? So, but
Yeah,
I've been
difference
here.
between a good
What
Yankee
am I,
and
a
a
damn-
damn Yankee.
I'm
A
a
good
damn-
Yankee comes down here and spends his money and goes
Yeah,
back.
fruit
home.
or
A
not.
damn Yankee stay.
I didn't know.
Damn it, I'm staying.
I don't know what we're talking about. What
no,
you
I
talking
never
about?
went back.
I don't know how anybody goes back up north after being in Florida. Because I did go to north for a couple of years, and I'm like, nope, I gotta get back to
No,
Florida.
forget that shit.
Nope, I can't do
My
that.
dad said, forget that shit. And I was so happy that he came to Florida. You know what I'm saying?
happy
I was
for
like,
you.
really?
That's awesome.
He said, I'm moving to Hawaii or Florida. It didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Either way, we couldn't afford Hawaii, but thank God, when I
Yeah.
seen the fishing and all the shit that was going on down here and no snow.
I
So-
tell you what helped me coming up is getting to know the prices. Then I got to know the Tumbeltys.
Mhm.
And when I got to know them, it opened up a whole new world
Oh, yeah.
to me of different people and stuff and cool people that had lived around me that I'd never met. Now it gave me the opportunity because I was up where I had transportation, me and Ruben driving ourselves,
Yeah.
Then we could hit all the parties and there
Yeah,
was
the
always big
Tumbeltys
parties
and the
going on.
prices, I would say.
It was a party in place back in the day.
Yeah, thank God. Well, Tumblety's #1, and my first friend was Sam Van Dyne, and then I met Tommy through Sam, and freaking, Sam was a loner. He was a little hermit, but he was.
Sam was a good dude.
He was there.
He was
Yeah.
laid back, good dude.
Yeah, and his sister was married to Jerry Hastings, who could make a car go faster than goddamn the speed of sound.
right?
We could outrun.
Jerry
we
Hastings
could
was a
outrun
bad mechanic
Jim
on
Roberts.
Anything.
Yeah, he could touch a motor, and it's like, okay, so Sam had a car that would outrun Jim Roberts, the constable's car, so we had no problem. Okay,
Damn Dukes.
right. Yeah, that Dodge, remember that red Dodge?
I just pictured Dukes of Hazard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And no problem. All you had to do was outrun Jim Roberts
the
and
constable.
Patton. No,
Because
That was
that
all
was
there
the
was.
police.
Right?
Man,
that's all there was.
I tell you what, I love y'all stories. It sounds like it was so much fun
Oh my
to
God.
live back in those
And that's
days.
the big thing, is all fun.
I mean, even back in my days, I mean, the 80s.
Yeah.
I feel like it was just an extension of what y'all did, you know, because
Yeah.
I had my papa there.
Well, it is,
Papa-
huh? Because
Papa was
you come up
awesome.
in a good family, you
Yeah.
know, and everybody loved them, and they was a part of all of our lives.
Yeah.
Your family was, you
Well,
know,
because
we
the
connected
Tumbeltys
with
were
them,
like,
and
who would ever thought that my parents would say, "Oh yeah, you stay at the Tumbeltys all weekend long, and we trust that you'll be safe."
Yeah.
And you know, the Tumbeltys weren't your run of the mill family. You know what I mean? They were like, you ever seen the Animal Kingdom?
Oh
thing
gosh.
Well, I'm not saying.
But I've heard about it.
Well,
okay,
it's
I'm gonna have
kinda
to
like
watch
that,
this show
but
now.
not illegal, not the illegal shit going on.
Right.
But it's like they like where they stuck together and they done
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they were like, you know,
I know. I tell you,
they bent the rules a little bit like everybody else did, but they was a good, tight family, and they had family morals, and they were like, we was all right.
And carried on too.
Yeah.
Very well.
Like
They
we're
were
still doing it. We're still having fun.
Yeah.
Partying, playing music.
I had an 8-trap tape, Commander Cody and the Lost Planets.
Yeah. So
And Mr. T heard it, you know, and it was country. He said,
Johnny
"Man,
had
I
a
want to listen to
room,
that, Sharky." I said, "Yeah,
like
okay."
this.
So I loaned it to him to borrow.
black lights.
But there was
and
one
we spent
song on
all
there that
weekends
was,
in it.
you know,
And
trucking.
trucking.
Yeah,
Come on there,
trucking.
trucking. And he's
Yeah.
got, you know, he's got
But it was
Shirley
like-
and
the
got
difference is,
your mom.
Johnny
in there.
had-
They're still
Hold on, we
kicking.
got. I don't know who to listen to. Wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
Johnny had shit on the ceiling too. So Johnny had the stars going on. You know, that's the only difference between Johnny's room and this room. Johnny had
Yeah.
the black lights with
Yeah.
all the constellations and shit.
Yeah.
Johnny was freaking out there.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
sure.
I mean, I can tell you that. I don't know where Johnny's mind was, but it was like,
Very creative. I mean,
very
he had the
creative.
creative mind.
I mean, really.
So you were talking about a
But I loaned him that tape,
Okay.
Commander Cody and Lost Planets,
Yeah.
you know, and it
Yeah.
was all country, you know. It was
Yeah.
pretty
Commander
good
Cody and the
Cody.
Lost Planets. Never
Yeah.
heard of him.
Commander
Lost
Cody.
Planet Airmen.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
a long title.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
And,
Yeah.
and,
Have to remember that.
One of the
It's
songs from
badass.
Trucking, well, he hadn't
Okay.
heard that one, you know. He'd heard
Okay.
a couple of the other songs, and he wanted to borrow it. Yeah, okay. So, not thinking
Yeah.
about it. And so he's down at the beach cruising, you know, got his family in there, the girls, you know, and Miss T, and all of a sudden that trucking song, everybody's trucking,
Yeah,
trucking,
yeah.
trucking, and
Everybody's
he couldn't get it out of there quick
Oh,
enough.
yeah, right. Oh, my
Everybody's
God,
doing
it's
it.
hilarious.
What the hell?
What music is that?
That was-
Everybody doing it
That
now.
one kind of
Wow.
blindsided him.
Crazy.
That's
Badass.
hilarious.
Yeah. Commander Cody and the Lost
Commander
Planet.
Cody.
Airmen.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
Not many
I got
people
that
have
same
heard of
CD.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to say the reason, a lot of reason why I wanted to ask about what this Mandarin Mafia was about, because believe it or not, I used to wonder if my papa was in the mafia.
them.
I used to think he was like part of the gangsters.
Well-
You know, he's from Jersey.
Yeah.
So
He
Jersey,
was powerful.
some stories I've heard about him, my uncle. There's just some things that were kind of like,
Yeah.
was Papa a gangster? Is that why he moved to Florida?
Back in the
Like,
day,
I
most
never know.
everybody's family probably dealt in
Right?
bootleg liquor,
Tommy
if
was-
nothing else.
I-
So that's pretty
He
like.
was an innovator.
I know.
Mine
That's
did.
how I'm like, what is this Mandarin Mafia?
He was
Because I think
innovative.
my Papa was in the mafia and he
Right.
moved to Florida to get away. I don't know.
He may have had some shit going on. But I'll tell you what,
I don't know.
he innovated the alarm industry.
He did. He was
I'm
definitely
telling you.
innovator. Very
mean,
genius.
Before all this safe fucking touch shit.
Right? No, he was definitely one of the first ones.
Excuse me.
Probably.
But I mean, he
Yeah.
came up with stuff before
I know.
all them, because everybody worked for Tom. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Patty, Rusty,
Uh-huh.
everybody, the kids. When we were
Me
young,
too, even.
You know, everybody worked at Tom's. You know, monitoring the
Yeah.
everything. So Tom came up with that board,
Mm-hmm.
and he really did. We done a lot of what my father and I did silk screen printing for his American Alarm back
Okay.
in the day.
Yeah.
You know, Tom was
The
like,
T-shirts. Yeah, I remember
yeah,
those.
he was ahead of his time. in
I know.
alarms.
I swear
Yeah.
he was getting downloads.
Yeah.
Like we always say, like it's the download straight from heavens. Like
And
he
I've
was
talked to a lot of people, not just
brilliant.
everything Tom done.
Yeah.
Like freaking on that beach and all that stuff. He was ahead of his time.
No, there are some stories he has things written
Yes.
down that I would love to write a book about
Yeah.
it. Because it is like,
yeah, he was special.
he's got some stories too.
Yeah. He was special. He done shit that, Taught me some shit.
Anyway, so that's what I was like, Mandarin Mafia. Where is this going? So
No,
anyway,
we was the good mafia.
Yeah, you're the good
Yeah,
mafia. You weren't
Yeah.
like that kind. But I'm so thankful y'all came. I just wanted to close it out by just saying thank y'all for coming
no
here.
problem.
Thank you for
You're
being a guest
welcome.
and hanging
You're
with the
welcome.
Hunns.
Yeah. Where were you, Patty? Patty, you better be here.
Yeah,
next
I know.
week.
She'll have to be on part 2. Maybe we'll have a part 2
Yeah,
and we'll have
yeah,
her here
yeah.
as a special
Yeah, 'cause
guest.
I'm sure.
Hit the notification bell for
Thank
part
you.
2.
Thank y'all for watching.
I'm sure we
Thank you
forgot
for
some stuff.
hanging out. It's okay.
That's
We'll
okay. We'll remember next time.
we'll get it again. Yeah.
Right.
We're not going anywhere.
We'll tell you the
Thank
mafia stuff next time.
All right.
Good night.
Peace.
Right. Peace out.
Still up to the same old tricks, yes, in the same way. Still he's playing his guitar and singing his song. Oh, now Johnny boy, he